separating YouTube land. We're now for something completely different. It's the Vaughn About Us Sports Show. And today we're going to have a really interesting show. Obviously, we're having less fun than any human being could ever have because we're Clevelanders. As you know, I'm Paul Warren, and here's Sparky. Hey-o!
Good afternoon, everybody. It is I, your host, Mark Sparky Warren. And with me today, as per usual, my co-host, my brother, Paul, Mr. Cleveland Warren.
I'm his brother, Paul.
It's the Warren Brothers Sports Show, coming to you live from the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network, the Henninger Road Studios here in Old Brooklyn, Ohio. Got plenty of stuff to talk about today. A whole lot here on this episode number 5 of the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Show.
Number 5?
Warren
Number
Brothers
5?
Sports Show on the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. Number 5. That's not even a song.
555?
Maybe like a Fifth Dimension.
Yeah, we saw them yesterday.
Band. Just saw them on TV.
Wearing Vikings colors.
And that's what they were wearing. Let's see. Looks like it should be bigger. So at least read the live chat. I don't even know. It all drives me nuts. At least I know the other thing's recording, so I could make this bigger, I guess. So you can't see what I'm doing. So
I want it big.
What? Sounds filthy. What are you going on about? You want it big?
How do you go big?
Oh, it's a honeycomb commercial from the late 80s or early 90s?
Late 80s, early 90s. It was because, they're promoting the flavor.
Yeah, it's big flavor, right?
Yes, but big taste.
Oh, I'm sure you're all about big taste.
Or no taste.
Huh?
Nothing.
Well, I certainly have no taste. NFL and Browns news around the league. I can guarantee you the Browns won't lose this weekend.
They won't win either.
No, that's a fact because it's the bye week.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know. It's hello. It literally just started the show and you're talking bye. Bye, Felicia.
Goodbye.
It's not goodbye, though. It's just the bye week.
Yeah.
The Chiefs beat the Broncos last night, 30-6. So there's some hope for you there, Browns fans. Something to think about. How long will Patrick Mahomes be out? Looked like he got hurt pretty badly. Looks like he may be out for a few weeks.
Is John Smelway still part of the Broncos?
Yeah, he's the president of the organization.
Yeah,
or GM.
Yeah, GM.
Yeah,
I call him Smelway.
Because he probably smells terrible.
Well, it's kind of ironic. He also looks like a Bronco.
Yeah, it's appropriate. He looks like he's got horse teeth. The XFL rosters, I researched that some yesterday. It's over there somewhere. Last time Ohio State played a Friday night football game was back in the year 1959. And how I guess that's a big deal regarding high school football in this area. That was the only thing people were talking about on the local stations, local radio, sports talk stuff.
And that was the year when the music died.
1959.
Yes.
There's been a ton of music since then.
I know, but that was when Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and Big Bopper. Goodbye, baby.
Wow. That's a way to talk about people's death. Jeez.
Because he had hell like
Yeah. No, I know. I'm familiar with the songs. But that's the guy died tragically, and you're trivializing it. My goodness. That game back in 1959 was a 17-0 loss to USC, and before that, 1896 was the last time they played a Friday game. So about every 60 or so years, you play a Friday night college football game. However, back in the 1890s, they played 4 Friday night football games. Times were different then, I guess, because they were. We didn't even have the YouTubes back in the 1890s.
Oh, we had indoor plumbing, and we also had toilet paper too. But
weren't those only like for the wealthy?
Well, it was starting to get big by then.
I wonder where the outhouse was located in this backyard back in the 1890s.
We
You
had a
figured
toilet.
had it? Oh, there's a toilet in this house in the 1890s?
Oh, well,
What do you mean we had it? Did
No.
you live here then?
no, it was. This place was built in 1900.
In 1900.
Yes.
Just a year after. It's the end of the 1890s. I thought this one was built in the 1890s.
No, it wasn't.
So it was 1900
Yes,
on the dot.
I believe so.
So I know that picture's from 1902.
03. 02, 03, yeah.
National Pirate Day. What are you talking about, Dave?
What you talking about?
I didn't know
baby?
there was there's a National Pirate Day. There's National Pirate Month. I think that's celebrated twice. Let's see here. Baseball playoff doubleheaders. There is, of course, there is. There's a national day for everything, Dave.
Every
I don't
day's
check
a
your
holiday,
calendar.
every day's a feast.
If it is, I don't know why you bring it up, Dave. So apparently there was a playoff doubleheader. The eye patch. Oh, in case you missed yesterday's episode, Paul poked me in the eye. Did severe damage to it. So I have to wear this eye patch. Severe damage.
Severe tire damage, man.
I know. He's laughing about it. He was laughing about it yesterday.
No, I
He's
wasn't.
funny
I
now.
felt bad.
You're laughing about it now.
Okay, fine. I'm that kind of a jerk.
Are there other kinds of jerks?
You.
Yeah. The kind of jerk who would wear an eye patch claiming he has an eye injury when he doesn't. But it's all for the bit. I spent like $3 on this just to keep it going because I'm that silly. Paul had to take some real action and put you in your place. Is kind of how it went. Even though I wasn't doing anything wrong, he's covering my mouth and he stabs me in the eye with his like 9-inch long middle finger.
It was an accident.
When he flicks people off, he means it. It's like you get flicked off 3 times. It's scary.
And I'm not Trent Reznor either.
9-inch fingers.
Nail, N-I-N.
I didn't say anything about your nails being 9 inches long,
Okay.
though. I said your finger was 9 inches long. Anyway, so there was a baseball doubleheader in playoff baseball, but it was a different kind of playoffs. It was like the American Association playing the National League, because the National League was still around in 1887, and they played series back between like 1884 and 1890. There's a Keith Oberlin article he wrote like 8 years ago. When every now and again he'd still sort of do decent sports stuff. I go to Keith Oberlin for sports stuff. I want to hear politics. I'm not going in for that. Far too biased, mind you. It's not that I'm necessarily
Fool
more
me
liberal.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You're not gonna fool me again.
Where's that come? What's that about?
I'm George W.
Why are you bringing up W?
Because
Because
president. Hey, Al, how's it going?
but why?
I don't know because.
There's got to be a reason.
Okay, no reason.
You just started doing a George W. Bush
Yes,
impersonation.
because you talk about politics, president. So
I thought maybe it was because Keith Olbermann was like riding him all the time.
Huh.
You don't even know who Keith Olbermann is. Do you?
Not really.
No, that's all right. He and the Dixie Chicks are good friends. So
but he's not Texan. Not knock ass.
unlike ass.
Yeah, we're gonna go make some eggs. And,
Eggs.
and we'll cook them in all.
How did this become a Paula Dean impersonation?
No, this is Paul Dean. I'm gonna make some scrambled eggs. I'm gonna use some cooking all.
How did me talking about baseball in the 1880s turn into whatever the hell you're doing?
Go ahead, say whatever.
Say whatever. Whatever. The Astros could close out the ALCS tonight in New York on top of it. It won 2 of 3 from the Yankees in New York. New York just seemed to have the momentum. Lost game 3. There's a rain delay. Got
Damn
creamed in
Yankees.
game 4. It was 8-3 or something. I don't want to see the Astros again, but I don't want to see the Yankees either. I just don't know how to feel about baseball in general at this point. This eye patch just looks dumb. Let's finish that bit. That bit's over. If you wind up tuning in later and you wonder what's the deal with the picture and the first, how long did that last? I almost made it 10 minutes. All right. I think it was
He
annoying.
got healed.
Is that what it is? It was a miraculous healing.
Yes. Yes.
I shouldn't have put it on like 15 minutes before the show started either. So I did wear it for like 25 minutes. It just,
I'm not gonna face Paul Mark. That'd be
Just don't touch me. I don't know your obsession with touching in my areas. That sounds filthy. I don't know even that. I mean, I know you're not touching me, so it's not bothering me. Oh my goodness. So I think it was 8-3 last night. I saw a blurb. I really didn't care. I got pretty discouraged. Is there some way for neither team to play the Nationals? Can't the Indians be in it? Oh well, I know better.
they won't be in it anymore.
Oh, and now I'm backtracking. It's because the NFL games I wanted to look into were that Vikes Lions game, the Rams Falcons game, Jags Bengals, Rams Seahawks, and I still forgot to look up what the Bills' actual record is. I forget if they're 4-1 or 5-1. I actually have it right here, amongst other things. Although that was the schedule. I think it's like the Bills' bye week or some nonsense. No, it's not. Yeah, they are 4-1. Their bye week was last week. That's why I'm all thrown off. The bye week starting like the third or fourth week of the regular season. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's too early. I really should just do all the bye weeks in like a 4-week period. So every team can have 2 bye weeks technically. No, you wouldn't like that.
And we'd have to have 18 weeks seasons.
Right. No, it was an idea that was toyed with because they want to go to 17 or 18 games. Now 17's on the table. That's a whole segment at least. You can do a whole show on that stupid debate. They love talking about, are we going to do 17 game seasons or 18 game seasons? 17 wouldn't make sense. You're doing an odd number. That's just dumb.
How about 20?
Start asking these guys to move up to 20 games. You had to drag them kicking and screaming to get to 16 from 14, and even the jump from 14 to 12 was a big deal when that happened. Historically, know your NFL history, know your history just in general, and
look that up in your Funkin' Wagnalls.
In your Funkin' Wagnalls, at least you bring funny lines when you bring lines.
Well, I didn't make that one up.
I know you. Of course you didn't. At least you steal good lines, and of course. Paul brought up Kevin Love trade possibilities. I did virtually no research on that. I'll just give you mostly the opinions that I've cultivated based on facts that I do have. And the NHL more in depth. And by more in depth, I looked up like one thing. Because the Blue Jackets play the Blackhawks tonight in Chicago. It looks like a winnable game for Columbus. They've got some young rookie. He's not a rookie, sorry. But it is a young goalie who hasn't played very long. He's only 24 years old. He looks like could be the real deal there in hockey terms or whatever it is. So that's an overview mostly of what we're going to go over here in today's show. At least those are the plans thus far. And my eye feels way better. That's amazing. At the end of yesterday's show, I thought I was going to lose the eye. I went and I saw the local barber. He's here in this neighborhood. He's also your optometrist and a tree surgeon, and pediatric gynecologist. He does all those things. It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. A pediatric gynecologist. Not a guy you should take your kids to. So hey, with that, I'm going to toss that on over to Paul Warren in the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. I was just tilting the camera that much that way. And hey, there he is, Paul Warren in the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center with the traffic and weather.
Henninger Road, a leaf.
Did you say the name of the street that we grew up on wrong? How do you say it?
Henninger Road, a leaf cleaning crew on it today. So 2 guys pick up 1 leaf at a time. Shut down the streets, look beautiful. I'm only kidding. 1 guy had a leaf blower, the other guy had an enormous net. And the weather right now is 49 degrees and cloudy right now, expect a high of 56 later in the day. It's not supposed to rain today, but it sure is outcast. And it's going to be cloudy tonight, but it's not like you'll see the clouds at night. It will be dark. Back to you at the old Brooklyn News Desk.
All right. Thank you very much, Paul. I am Mark Warren here at the old Brooklyn News Desk. Is my handwriting that terrible?
Yes.
I mean, there were certain ones. Did I like Cloudy right now. Expect a high later in the day. It's not supposed to. Because I try to make sure I don't repeat words. I heard a lot of repeated words in there.
Mark, your handwriting sucks.
I'm aware of the fact that my handwriting sucks. I also suck at remembering to play the songs too, because I was supposed to have a music bed under it. So I screwed that up too. So if we play, I know my handwriting sucks. I mean, you're not telling me something new that I don't already know. All right, back to it. In the news, there's an actress on Instagram. I forget the young lady's name. Sanchez Diaz, something like that. Not a very well-known actress, but she's singing along to some old Fuji song, Lauryn Hill and the other two guys, Wyclef Jean and that one guy who was talented, but whose name we never know. So she's singing along. She sings the N-word along with it while she's doing an Instagram post. And so there's this huge outcry. However, it's not that huge outcry because she is Latina. She's Hispanic. So there's kind of a pass. And it's not like it was a white actress who said the N-word. Besides, it was with the A at the end. Even then, I mean, especially like one time you're singing along to a song.
One time.
That's a Fuji song right there. So it works out. 2 times, then you're in trouble.
2 times.
Yeah, there you go. All right. It actually kind of worked. The age to purchase tobacco products and accessories and other such things has been raised from 18 in the state of Ohio to 21. You now have to be 21 years old to purchase tobacco products, e-cigs, and the like, regular old tobacco products, pipes, hookahs. I would assume papers too. You shouldn't go around still being able to buy papers if you're under 21. We know what you're going to use it for. And so anyway, I guess that's a big deal now. Thankfully, I'm 35, so it doesn't affect me. You know, 15-year-old kids. There's still going to be that one tall kid who's not getting ID. Everybody knows that kid. That's why they're friends with that kid. And if you're that tall kid, that's why you're their friend. You were able to buy them alcohol, and you can buy them their smoke products too. And lastly, an elderly African-American man was seen running from an Oriental massage parlor in the Avon Lake area today. There's an all-male staff at that Oriental massage parlor. He and his older white friend had inadvertently asked for the Shanghai Surprise. And it turns out that the aging, going blind African American man ran nude out of the place. However, the older white guy stayed because he enjoyed the Shanghai Surprise. Avon Lake is where that happened. Avon Lake. And now we throw it back on over to Paul Warren here in the Henninger Road Studios, as he's got a commercial for you.
I'm Paul Warren from Community Buffet. This weekend is Sweetest Day, so why don't you bring your sweetie to the Community Buffet? There's a great array of roast beef, roast pork, and roast chicken. Many great sides, salad bar, and mocktails to enjoy as well as a string quartet for that romantic dinner, which is $6 a plate, with donations and tips are appreciated. The Community Buffet, we save the plate for you.
All right, and that's that for that. Let's get right on into the NFL and the Browns. Very little Browns stuff to talk about. I did most of my Browns talk yesterday. I didn't really have a lot to say about it because it's non-football stuff. I mean, that's what so much of even the off season and the regular season has been. When you're sitting at 2-4, people are more worried about picture day, watches, visors, even Myles Garrett's visor. You know, he had it on Twitter for days, asking a poll before the preseason. Should I have Jurassic Park guys on it? Because I'm obsessed with dinosaurs. And none of this stuff that mattered. Like, absolutely none of it. Tom Brady jumping out of his limo to punch Myles Garrett in the face. It's all dumb.
I'll get something to drink.
All right. You couldn't have done that before the show started?
Okay, I already had some.
Oh, you already drank the whole thing? What is that, wine or liquor? Is just drinking a coffee mug full of vodka?
It's cola.
Oh, okay. It's a soda. It's a beverage. It's not alcohol related. We used to have a producer, guy who produced our show back at the old station in its infancy. He would drink bowls of whiskey. What did he claim? He would just take a bowl, drink it, filled with whiskey, driving around town. This is some tiny little hamlet outside of Canton or something, so no one cared. You could drive through the woods there. That was normal. That's where most of the roads are. So if you're down in that area, screw you, I don't care. So like I guaranteed, I know for sure the Browns won't lose this weekend. And Paul here claims the Browns won't win this weekend. And we're both right. So yay, bye week.
And I'm drinking blue cola.
Huh? Blue cola?
Blue.
Oh, blue.
Unlike the red.
Yeah.
I like the red cola over blue cola.
That's fine. I don't care. I doubt our listeners do either. Hey, you got any takeaways from that Chiefs-Broncos game last night?
No.
The Broncos suck.
Yes.
I think this is like the third week in a row that they haven't scored a touchdown.
Denver Ponies.
They were able to actually even win one of those games in which they didn't score a touchdown.
Or the Denver Broncos.
Or was it an offensive touchdown? I don't exactly remember off the top of my head. It's a waste of a very good defense, which obviously wasn't very good last night either. They gave up 30 to the Chiefs. But that's got to make you feel pretty good as a Browns fan. And I say that because of this. And not to look too far forward, even though obviously I am looking 2 weeks into the future, because we have the Patriots coming up. That's the next game. Sunday, Patriots in New England. It's going to be a difficult game. I don't know the Broncos' next game, but I do know for sure that 2 weeks from now, I have that right? 2 weeks from now, it's the Browns in Denver.
Yes.
Playing the Broncos. A bad Broncos team. A Joey Flacco at quarterback Broncos team. So not a good Broncos team. And by seeing them get just creamed by the Chiefs, pretty sure the backup quarterback played the whole second half, right? So I didn't bother to do my research on it. I should have. I was gonna play the video while I was on the can, but I forget what I did. I looked up hockey stuff instead for this jerk. I know he didn't do any hockey stuff. No, I'm sorry, I called you a jerk. But, you know, Mahomes went out with an injury. I think Matt Moore is his backup. Did Matt Moore play the rest of the game? And the Chiefs still won, like handily. Like the Broncos didn't even bother to show up. 30-6. They had decent play by their wide receivers. I don't know what Flacco finished with. But
the only Flacco I can think of is the guy who's saying Amadeus.
I know you bring this up every time I bring up Joey, not the singer of the song Amadeus, Flacco. That's his actual nickname too. When they do the nickname day, which they don't do, that's something in Major League Baseball and in basketball, because there's so many days you have to wear stupid uniforms at parts during the season. So instead they just have, you know, Flacco he sucks. He sucked when he was good, and he sucks now. Because that statement makes sense. Because he wasn't good. He's a Super Bowl MVP, and he sucks. And I can say that. Because he's not Matt Ryan. And that's what really sucks. Matt Ryan's actually a good quarterback. And the Falcons suck. Whereas Joey Flacco was a sucky quarterback, but the Ravens were good. It's football. Because it's not about one guy. That's what sucks. Suckity suck. I sure did say suck a lot. What? That's really loud. What are you doing?
That's a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, okay.
Vacuum cleaners suck.
Because, vacuum cleaners suck almost as much as you and I do.
Real funny.
Yeah, I thought so. So that means in a couple of weeks, I don't know. I figure the Browns should be able to beat the Broncos. It'll probably be another close game like that 17-16 game last season. I don't know. I'm not a betting man. I'd say it's around 21-13, something like that. But that's 2 weeks from now. We'll address that when it comes.
I think it might be one of those blowout games.
By whom?
The Browns.
The Browns will blow out the Broncos in 2 weeks?
Yes.
You really think so?
Yes, because if the Broncos eat that much, then the Browns will do what they did with the Jets and with
Okay.
the Ravens.
All right, it's an interesting take.
Because the thing
But aren't the
is-
Ravens good?
Yes, but they
Browns
just
spanked them though.
yeah. But it would be interesting that they do beat the Ravens. But like I said, I'm not sure about the whole Super Bowl thing with them right now. It's kind of like
What's kind of like what?
the Browns are still underachievers.
Man, I hope that's recording.
Well, it's recording on here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I like having backups. You know me.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to back up the backup, and then you back that up.
Well, you can always get something.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
But I can get what?
Something that you can actually download it later.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What, download it off of this or download it off of that?
Off of YouTube.
Off of the tube?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll get off of there. Do you think Patrick Mahomes' injury will have him out for a while? So I didn't see anything confirming how bad an injury it is or anything like that, but the speculation is that it's worse than it looks and all this stuff. It's ankle injury, I believe. But you don't know because you didn't watch the game and you don't follow football.
Right.
Okay.
Unless it's football, you play with your feet.
Which is soccer,
Yes.
right? Hey, out of these games coming up this weekend, this is where I'll go to. Bring this around and up there. Do any of these games intrigue you at all? Vikings versus Lions.
No.
So Vikings in Detroit, you don't care. How about the Rams at the Atlanta Falcons?
No.
Okay. The Jacksonville Jaguars in Cincinnati against the Bengals.
No.
How about the Ravens heading to Seattle to play the Seahawks?
Maybe.
Maybe. Now, why is that a maybe?
Well, if it'll show if the Seahawks actually do kick Ravens' butt, then they are then the Seahawks are unexpected.
Well, so you didn't predict that the Seahawks would be that good, huh?
I don't think anyone did.
Man, it's an in-betweener. People really like Russell Westbrook. For whatever reason, they like that cheating ass Pete Carroll. Hate that guy. But anyway, for whatever reason, the Seahawks, people run real hot and real cold on them. I don't know where. I mean, I don't like them. I'll be honest. There's personal bias there. Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart took the fall for a guy who, and when you look at stuff that like Urban Meyer or Jim Tressel did, is nowhere near as bad as what Jim Carroll did. What's his first name? Jesse Carroll? I forget. I just said it too.
Pat Carroll?
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Yeah,
Pete
Carroll.
Pat Carroll was
Pat Carroll. Is that a singer?
No, she was the woman who did the voice of Ursula from Little Mermaid.
That's random. I thought the woman who did the voice of Ursula was the one who played that drag queen in the 80s.
No.
What movie is that?
Priscilla.
Priscilla of the Desert.
Because Pat Carroll is an actress.
So is the drag queen who played Priscilla. Wasn't she, or was she just a drag queen?
I don't know.
But can't you be both a drag queen and an actress? Can you be both a bartender and a politician? Anyway,
what I want for you is your voice.
Can you be a failure in real estate and a politician? Maybe. Can you be, I don't know, crazy old Jewish guy and a politician? Sure. Can you be a sociopathic murderer and a politician? Yeah, she just ran for president 3 years ago. Anyway, hopefully I got enough people on all sides there. I threw in the one guy, the real estate failure. He is. I mean, he's gone bankrupt 4 times. Also a terrible husband. If you got married, is this his 3rd or 4th wife?
I don't know.
All right, whatever. Anyway, hopefully I made fun of everybody enough for everybody. AOC sucks.
Excuse you.
Thanks. What else? So football wise, this is one, and you should be especially upset because they lost this past Sunday to the previously 0-4 Jets, who are now 1-4 and will be going in and playing the Monday nighter against the Patriots. But your Dallas Cowboys are playing the Philadelphia Eagles, fighting for first place at this young juncture, or the midway point almost of the NFL season. Who's going to be in first place to the NFC East after Sunday night? Cowboys, Eagles.
Okay, I hope it's the Cowboys.
You hope it's the Cowboys, of course, because you're a huge Cowboys fan.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Why are you such a big Cowboys fan?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
First off, they called them the American team. Second off, in the mid '93, Bernie Kosar.
See, that's why I like the Cowboys.
Mhm.
Yeah, his Kosar got cut by the Browns, and his old buddy Jimmy Johnson picked him up and said,
Mhm.
"Hey, come on over to Dallas, play some football here."
And they've actually had a great run in the '90s.
So
As
you like
well.
them because they were winners.
And they actually were great with the '70s because had
Historically interesting.
Tom
I'm
Landry
measuring
and
myself now. Tom Landry.
and then there was Troy Aikman later on,
Right.
as well as Emmett Smith, and
Right.
then Deion Sanders, Bernie Kosar, and then later on Tony Romo.
I like how Dave chimed in with the Patriots are America's team. Has it in the name. Patriots, Cowboys. That's an evil part of America. They Patriots murdered people too. At least there's no Pilgrims anymore, right? Before they were the Red Sox, they were the Boston Pilgrims. Those people brought diseases with them. You know what? Wait, what were you rambling about before with the Cowboys thing? Did you finish your thought on that? Or did I
Yes,
just interrupt you?
they got great players, great coaches.
And
They're the American team. They play on Thanksgiving.
name 3 guys who are playing on the Cowboys right now.
I don't know.
You don't know. See, that's the thing. He's this huge Cowboys fan. He can't name 3 guys. Name their starting quarterback.
I don't know.
Dak Prescott. Who was their running back? I literally just used his name in yesterday's show. He's a former Ohio State Buckeye, even though you don't watch Buckeyes football. And yeah, my brother's finally on. He's now been on more shows than he hasn't been on. He's 3 for 5.
Well, I would suck at Sports Jeopardy.
No, well, and what's funny is you get the trivia questions right like 90% of the time. You barely have to ask me anything when you play a trivia game at the bar. But so the running back's Ezekiel Elliott. You can't name another guy on the Cowboys because you couldn't name the quarterback and the key running back.
Yeah, so
although to be honest with you, I forget the roster. I'm not up on everything football related. But the Patriots thing though, that is patriotic. Patriot Pat bent over that football like Anton is obsessed with. Oh, I want to remind everybody too that this is WBBN, the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. The views and opinions of this program don't express those of ownership. Ownership is vehemently against cronyism and nepotism. So one of my friends here has a question for my brother. Cronyism, nepotism. Can you name the owner of the Cowboys? That's actually a very good question.
who is Jimmy Johnson?
And that's wrong. That was a guy who was a head coach of the Cowboys. And there are a few good players on the Cowboys team. I can't remember that one wide receiver who's actually good, but he's not Des Bryant because he left. There's that other guy. They made the trade with it was the Raiders, wasn't it? Or somebody, West Coast team. Or there was a fellow who was with I can't remember guys' names anymore. I'm getting older, Joshua. When you're 21 or 22, yeah, Amari Cooper. That was the dude who was with the Eagles. It was the Eagles, right? Yeah, that's why it was a big deal because they're interdivision. Yeah, America Cooper. You know what? It's because they're America's team. He's changed his name. He's America Cooper. So, Paul, do you remember the name of the owner?
No.
He's got like one of your favorite names ever, too. Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah. Amari Cooper was with the Raiders. All right, good. See, okay, that part I had remembered. I mean, with the Eagles at some point too. I don't know, whatever. So Paul forgot even Jerry Jones, who's like the George Steinbrenner of football owners.
And if anyone owners. Gives me questions, please do it a la Jeopardy.
What do you mean?
Like say, Paul, name the owner of the Cleveland Browns. And I'd say,
word it like it's the
like
answer, sort of, and then you would say who's
a jerk.
Who is a jerk? Do you know who the owner of the Cleveland Browns is?
Jimmy Haslam.
All right, good job. Whoa. That's something. Give him something. That's our new segment, Stump Paul. Apparently somebody already has. So you failed, Nicole. Way to go, Warren sister. You screwed it up. Had this great idea for a segment. First time out, blows it. Stumped Paul. Where was I? Was that it with the NFL stuff? Well, it's about time for this anyway. That would be funny if he changed his name to America, because he's all about standing up and making sure he doesn't kneel during the ceremony, and he's drinking
America
during the what is it?
national anthem.
Yeah, I'm America Cooper. I stand during the national anthem. I drink my Budweiser straight from the can. America, freedom ain't free. Cost $1.05. I'm America Cooper. I don't know why he would talk like that all of a sudden, because he probably doesn't sound like that at all. I drink PBR. I crush cans right on my head. Bam. Yeah, America Cooper. But it'd be better if that's what Cooper Anderson became. He'd be Cooper American. Lisa Stevens? What's up, ladies? I would figure that that's probably Ronnie, if I were to guess, because Lisa would probably call us ladies too. Hey, anyway, it's time for traffic and weather, so let's head on over to the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center, and here's Paul Warren.
Energer
With the
Road.
weather.
Energer Road has had a leaf cleaning crew on it today. 2 guys picked up 1 leaf at a time. Shut down the street. Looks beautiful. As a matter of fact, we're kidding. 1 guy had a leaf blower. The other had an enormous net. And your weather right now is 49 degrees and cloudy right now. Expect a high of 56 later in the day. It's not supposed to rain today, but it looks sure is outcast. And all is going to be cloudy tonight. But it's not like you'll see the clouds at night. It will be dark. Now, back to you at the Old Brooklyn News Desk. Mark?
I'm going to read the traffic and weather next time to see if I'm funny, because when you read it, it doesn't sound funny.
Well, it's like
It's because it sucks. My handwriting's terrible, and I'm not funny. I'm not a good writer. So, back here at the Old Brooklyn News Desk, news for you. There's an actress. I forgot to play the fucking music again. Damn it. Getting agitated with myself. I'm too busy looking at me.
wow, I can watch me all day, can you?
I know I can watch me all day. And hopefully you can watch me for at least a few minutes here. Help if I remember where I wrote that down. It's because I wrote it on a different piece of paper. I screwed myself up. All right, so that's set to go for when that's time to go. I like this music. Fan of this song here. An actress. I don't remember the actress. Honestly, I don't think she's a big deal. She's probably just as famous as Jussie Smollett. But anyway.
Or John Hoyt.
And he said Hoyt, not Voight. Sang the N-word in an Instagram post. Sing along to a Fuji song and sang the N-word loud and proud. But for all this hubbub made out of it, listen to our particular station, 93.1. It's on the FM dial. And there was the morning show on there. I heard the news on it. And I felt like it wasn't a big deal. She's a Latino. Like she was part of the master race. I think that's even what they said. It's a young black lady. And it's like, well, yeah, no, white people can't even sing that word in a song.
White man can't jump either.
Okay. So just remember, when you're singing along to songs by your favorite African-American artists, no matter how much they use the N-word, try not to use it yourself, I guess. So you insert the word Fredo in there, because that's the N-word to Italians.
Or crackers.
Yeah. So, my crackers.
I want a cracker.
Hey, honkies. Let's kick it. Smoking age has been raised, is now 21.
I thought it was already 21.
But this is an entire state thing. Before now, it was just particular cities had changed it to 21. Now it's the entire statewide actual thing. It's the law. The law got passed. So now you have to be 21 to purchase cigarettes, tobacco, e-smokes, pipes, rolling papers, all sorts of things. I'm assuming rolling papers is in there. You would think so.
Toilet paper.
those would light up so quick. You couldn't smoke with toilet paper. What do you ask Josh? I bet you Josh made a bong out of a toilet paper tube. Anyway, if that's Roddy, he might know too. And Dave too. Actually, everybody who watches this program and listens to it smokes Halloween. So now you just have to, if you're like 18 and you were smoking legally last week, we do have African in us. See, yeah, Josh gets it because he's Puerto Rican. So it's kind of okay. It is kind of okay because it's the truth. As Puerto Ricans, there are a lot of Africans living in Puerto Rico. There's very few indigenous Puerto Rican people when you start to really look into it. I mean, that's a whole discussion there if you want to have it. Big part Italian and Spanish too. Italy and Spain. So yeah, now you just have to go get, your older friends or that tall 14-year-old kid that who was already buying beer and cigarettes.
Especially for his parents.
Oh, lastly, did you ever have to do that? I've known of people who've done that. Yes. Oriental Massage Parlor in Avon Lake, and an older African American man was seen running out of it. All male staff there at the Oriental Massage Parlor in Avon Lake because he had accidentally asked for a Shanghai surprise and was not happy about getting it. However, his older white companion, believed to be Jerry Sandusky, stuck around for the whole thing and even offered to give a Shanghai surprise back to the man who massaged him. Lastly, commercial here. I do this commercial. And this is great to go from that news story into this commercial for Get Out and Play with Melody. My niece, Melody Bacha, has an entertaining YouTube channel, Get Out and Play with Melody. If you yourself have kids, nephews or nieces, maybe you're babysitting, or just like to be entertained yourself, go to YouTube, find Get Out and Play with Melody. Sit back and enjoy. Now, even though it is kid-friendly, and I'm not just saying this because she's my niece, a little 8-year-old genius. There's funny stuff. It the imagination is only beaten by this guy's imagination right here because he's autistic. And so it almost would sadden you too, even if you went to school for filming. Like, seriously. Especially you, Dave. You'd be depressed. Go ahead and watch. Get to YouTube. Get Out and Play with Melody. And then like, share, subscribe. Click for the notifications. Do the same with this show. Here on the YouTube. Click that reminder button. Whatever they call it. It's a bell, isn't it? It should be there. You'll find it. Yeah, the old Bing. Boo, boo, boo. All right, so we are back. Pretty much covered all the NFL stuff I figured we were going to. So we're talking Ohio State football right here. Ohio State football. The Buckeyes. OH-IO. Yeah, he just did the thing. That's it's the framing. You can't. You'd be better off just going like O-H. How would you?
O. H.
That's just actual sign language.
O.
Right. Hey, so it's funny, like the way that Josh reads here is we do have African in us. I bet you Josh has had an African in him. Gay butt-sex.
Mark?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay. Good enough for me. So the last time Ohio State played a Friday night football game, which they are tonight, 7:30. I don't know what network you can find it on. I'm going to be searching the channels, or I'll be searching the bars. Last time Ohio State played a Friday night football game was 1959. 60 years ago. Technically a little over 60 years ago because it was the second game of that season. Woody Hayes, old head coach of the storied Ohio State University. He led the team into Southern California, into Los Angeles. And Ohio State got shut out 17-0. 17-0. So
Tusk.
What? Why do you shout?
Because you'll see they played the song Tusk.
Back from the mic when you shout.
All right.
Because when you do this, when you go Tusk, it's loud.
That much.
What?
Didn't bug me that much.
No, I'm sorry that my yelling didn't bug you as much. It's fine. It's
Shut
just okay. Why you always telling me to shut up? So just because they say Tusk, and so you had to shout Tusk and overmodulate. Okay,
Fine.
fine. So before that 1959 football game in which they lost 17-0, and mind you, going into Northwestern, they're playing the Northwestern Wildcats. Wildcats. Okay. Like any other time, you would just do it without the cue. Wouldn't even. Anyway, so playing the Wildcats, nowhere near as formidable an opponent as 1959 USC was. Because USC has always had a very good football team, to my knowledge. I'm like 99% certain of that. No, sir, that has never happened to me. Well, good for you, Joshua. I'm glad. Apparently, you never spent a night in jail. Not that happened to me any of the nights I was in jail either. Prison, though. I was never in prison. Not that happens to every guy in prison. It happened to like Norm Macdonald in one joke in a movie. Dirty Work, if you've seen it. Anyhow, let's see. So before the 1959 game, you have to go back another 60-some years to 1896.
When Cleveland was 100 years old.
Yeah, but in Columbus, they played football. Actually researched that. Pull that up real quick. And can tell you, is this it? Yep, brief history. Ohio State's 5 regular season games. Go back to there it is. Their 5 regular season games historically. I think your guys arguing is hilarious. Shut up, Josh. I don't care what you think. Know that our arguing is hilarious. Say that you know our arguing is hilarious. Laugh at people arguing. Who are you? How dare you? Laugh at you.
Fuck.
What?
Shut up.
Okay. Damn it. Hey, so in these games, 1890 in Granville, wherever the hell that is, Denison defeated Ohio State 14-0. The hell is Denison College? Denison's a street like right across the bridge.
Actually, Franklin Cover from the Jeffersons actually graduated from there.
Don't hurt myself? How would I hurt myself? What does that even mean? It's already bad enough I got to wear this eye patch. I don't have to wear it anymore. Usually Paul does the hurting. I had to wear this to heal. I lost it. There it is. I need that. If I do any Halloween-related stuff this year, I'm going to use that.
I'll be wearing my Thriller shirt this Halloween.
Yeah. Anyway, what does Michael Jackson have to do with Ohio State football?
Because I mentioned Thriller. He made Thriller. Thriller.
Do you want to know the final scores of these games from like 120 years ago?
Go ahead.
It's not interesting at all. So in 1890, Denison College defeated Ohio State. In 1895, this game was in Lexington, Kentucky. I figure Ohio State defeated Kentucky 8-6. High scoring 1895 football game. In 1896, the Ohio State University played 2 different Friday football games. So now it'll be 33% of all the Friday football games were played in the same year, 1896. One in which they lost to Oberlin, which I'm fairly certain is still a college. I mean, Kentucky is. We know that. But Oberlin defeated Ohio State 16-0. And lastly, the other 1896 Friday football game was Ohio State defeating Case in Columbus 30-10. I can only figure that that's Case Western University. I would think it would say that, but it's Case College. Maybe it's just a guy who had a briefcase and he showed up and he's all like, hey, I got some friends. They're going to play football against you.
You can always check sometime.
Do you want me to check now?
If you want to.
Not really. There's only like 5 minutes left in the segment. I was going to say, I'll be looking, and what are you going to be doing?
I could be talking.
And what would you be talking about?
Franklin Cover from the Jeffersons.
What?
Because he played Tom Willis.
Uh-huh. And why would you be talking about him?
because he went to Denison College.
Wait, you still know about? There's still Denison College?
Yes.
Well, what's Denison? Tell us about Denison College if you know about it.
I don't know much.
You know that
that's-
some actor who's on the Jefferson went to. Which
Yes.
guy is he? Is he the British white guy or is he the white guy who's married to the black chick?
He was the one who's married to. He plays Tom Will. Franklin Carter plays Tom Willis. And
So Tom Willis is the
Tom-
white guy who's
yes.
married to the black chick.
Yes.
Yeah. Then who's the other white guy? The British guy.
Yes.
The white guy's the British guy.
That's Paul Benedict, I believe.
Oh, that guy's funny. I like him. Oh, I don't know what to do. He looks really weird. Whereas they're very tall guys. Or maybe it's just because Sherman Hemsley was so short. Why are we talking about the Jeffersons?
Well, talk about Denison College first, and then
Because the one guy who was another guy on the
Mhm.
one of the
Yes.
additional actors.
Mhm.
So anyway, leads us into the fact that Ohio State is playing a Friday night football game. Check it out. Should be fun. Northwestern is their next victim. I don't expect much out of Northwestern. So that way you got plenty of time to switch over from that game to the game 5 of the American League Championship Series. Because I figure that's what's going to happen. You can watch part of the football game. Ohio State will have like a 34-0 halftime lead. Why the eye patch boyfriend have bad aim?
oh,
I would figure anywhere would it be. See, now I'm thinking of it like it would be logical. I don't want it aimed anywhere would be not where I'd want it at all, quite frankly. I have a tough time brushing my teeth. And that's a thin toothbrush. Anyhow, it started to get on the tongue and the gag reflex comes in. I almost throw up just when I'm brushing my teeth. I use a lot of mouthwash. And my boyfriend really likes that. So that's definitely Ronnie then. Hey, Ronnie, how's it going? Miss you, buddy.
boyfriend's back, and you're going to be in trouble.
That's
I heard my boyfriend's back at a burger place
Anyway,
where they have a vegetable burger, veggie burger.
no, what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing, because
Wait, you were in that particular place and that's where you heard the song?
yes,
Because they were playing it over the radio.
yes,
Even though that's a song that you can hear anywhere, anytime.
yes,
You just happen to be in the Burger Queen restaurant.
yes,
And that's where you heard that song.
yes.
And why is that relevant?
Because I don't know.
It's just where you were.
Yeah, you talk about your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's back, and you're going to be in trouble.
The eye patch was because Paul poked me in the eye yesterday towards the end of the show. I was trying to do a continuity thing. Why? Now he's pretending to hit me for whatever reason. But no, I try to garner fake sympathy from all 8 people who watch this. Not enough time left in the segment to go right on into the ALCS. We covered all the football stuff that I was planning on, except for the XFL rosters thing. We can get back to that if we would like. Apparently, they held the draft. Very strange way of doing it. I guess all the quarterbacks were assigned teams. There's a couple of notables in there, at least one that stuck out to me. Especially in particular,
Excuse
although
you.
there are a couple of other ones that might be interesting, but one noteworthy XFL one. Hand that here. I'm going to read it once, then I'll have you read it, and we'll see if it's mostly because I'm not a good writer or you're. It's probably just bad handwriting, is what it really
Paducah
is.
fried chicken.
This would be the song for Paducah Fried Chicken, quite frankly. All right. So we toss on over to the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Desk, which will be. Oh, then you do the news then. You want to do the news? I ad-lib that, really, because when you look at that, you'll have to ad-lib it then. If you can handle it. What?
News?
It's literally that line, and the third one's on top of those two. So toss it on over to myself here at the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. And traffic, Henninger Road, had a leaf cleaning crew on it today. 2 guys picking up one leaf at a time. See, is it that you can't see the periods? Because you just like read the whole picture.
Yes.
Okay. I need to have larger periods. Henninger Road was shut down. The street looks beautiful. I'm kidding. One guy had a leaf blower, the other had an enormous net. In weather, 49 degrees and cloudy right now. Expect a high of 56 degrees later in the day. It's not supposed to rain today, but it sure is overcast. It is going to be cloudy tonight, but it's not like you'll see the clouds. At night, it will be dark. Now to hand it on over to the Old Brooklyn News Desk, even though that's the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center, and this is the Old Brooklyn News Desk. Paul Warren's going to give you the news.
A certain actress has said a nasty word while singing a Fugees song. Meanwhile, the smoking age in the state of Ohio has changed from 18 to 21, and an all-male staff from an Oriental massage parlor gave Jerry Sandusky a Shanghai surprise while Bill Cosby went streaking out of there. Back to you.
That actually wasn't too bad on the news part. You should keep doing the weather, though. Traffic
Okay.
and weather, because that's just how we have it. Even though apparently it's sort of better the other way around. I liked how you read that news there. It wasn't bad.
This is your action. I was just thinking about this.
Oh, yeah, you got to do a commercial.
I'm Paul Warren for Cathedral Community College. No, this is appropriate music for this. You want to graduate at a university, but you
Why
don't.
is this appropriate music?
You want to graduate at a university, but you don't want to pay an arm or a leg to go there. Well, look no further than the Cathedral Community College. They have departments in liberal arts, science, law, and seminary classes, and all classes can be transferred to any college in the country of your choice. There are 6 locations in Cuyahoga County. The Cathedral Community College spread their wings for college knowledge.
Feels like it's a little earlier than it should be. Did we go through that too quick?
Probably.
Oh, well. What?
While I winged the whole news thing,
It's because I write them for myself.
Yeah.
I don't write myself as many notes as I write you with the whole traffic and weather thing, and then you just make up whatever you want for traffic and weather anyway.
Then maybe I should do the news. I don't know.
I don't know either, honestly, at this point. Just want to remind everybody that this is WBBN, the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. The views and opinions of this program don't express those of ownership. Ownership is vehemently against cronyism and nepotism. That's what all my friends in the live chat think, and that's what my brother, my co-host, thinks as well. Cronyism and nepotism is bad. Just ask the owners, friends, and relatives. Let's see here. Back to it. I don't know. Would you rather talk XFL or Major League Baseball?
XFL.
Okay, of course you would. What about the XFL rosters you want to talk about?
Well, let's see who they drafted
You want to see who they drafted?
and hear who they drafted.
Yeah, by which you're just going to hear me. Oh, the epic radio show. Shut your commie mouth. On which thing? You guys have to tell me which thing. It's because of the nepotism and cronyism. Does that make me a communist? That's also. I mean, that's every single way of doing everything. Name a job you got because you just walked in and just wowed them with how great you were as someone no one there at all knew. The LA Wildcats. Because that's the main thing you want to know is what are the 8 teams, right?
Yes.
And I was more intrigued by key players on teams. But here's each team. The DC Defenders. That's the DC stands for Dangerous Cock.
It's the District of Columbia.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Washington, D.C. There's a soccer team called D.C.
So it hasn't been Washington Dangerous Cock?
No.
It's Washington District of Columbia.
Yes. And how the Washington Wizards, for a while, they had that D and the C in the arena.
They had a D and a C?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? They put the D in the C, huh?
Yes.
I stuck a D and a C once.
Boy.
A D and a C. What?
Dirty.
Yeah, that's filthy. The Houston Roughnecks. Roughnecks. So you got DC and Houston. So there's those two. Thirdly, the New York Guardians. Guardians. Wow. And that's New York for you. So what do you got? You got Houston, DC, and New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then thusly Dallas. So two teams in Texas. I thought they were called the Texas Border Control. Oh, that's the Dallas Renegades and the Houston
Renegades.
Border Control, starring Lorenzo Lamas. The Dallas Renegades starring Lorenzo Lamas. You like that reference? That one
Yep.
was for you. The Tampa Bay Vipers. Okay. Because Tampa Bay is known for their snake issues. If there's an Arizona team and they're called like tropical fish of some sort, I'll be pissed off. Here's your St. Louis team that you were all about. The St. Louis Battlehawks. The Battlehawks of St. Louis. Awesome movie, rated R for that word there. R-tarded. The Seattle Dragons. Seattle Dragons. That's whimsical. Whimsical. And lastly, because this is going to be the 17th, the 8th team, right?
Right.
The LA Wildcats. Wildcats.
Wow.
Why didn't you make a dragon sound? Why didn't you make a viper sound? What was that? How about what does a battlehawk sound like? A renegade? I'll get you, you vermin. The magic dragons. They puff them enough in Seattle. Puff the magic. I think that's about as much as I can sing. And not only because I can't sing, but also because it's pretty much illegal. A New York Guardian. Hey, stop. I'm guarding this guy.
Forget about it.
It's only because it's New York. A roughneck.
You might be a roughneck.
Okay, that's dumb. And the DC Defenders. So half the teams are named after things that people could possibly be, like a defender or a roughneck or a what was it? What were the other ones? A guardian or a renegade. Renegade. Coming to a streaming device near you. Or it's the other half, where it's animals or even magical ones. Aren't dragons just vipers, like, that are bigger and can breathe fire and fly?
Well, actually,
I guess there aren't really very many similarities at all.
Well,
between...
back then, many people called dinosaurs dragons.
You're a dinosaur. Battlehawks.
You're a towel.
Battlehawk sounds like a terrible show with robots.
It sounds like a difficult video game.
Yeah, there you go. Difficult video game. What
Can't
was
get past
LA?
level 3.
Can't get past level 3 on that Battlehawks. As I was all psyched when I got my Sega Genesis. It came with Battlehawks. Couldn't get past. Oh, you're talking about Battletoads.
Yes.
Okay. And Wildcats. That's the only somewhat slightly traditional sounding football name. Wildcats. Works in basketball too. Vipers sounds like a baseball team. I would have gone with Vipers them and the Diamondbacks. Vipers are the Diamondbacks AA affiliate. The Tampa Bay. So what were all those cities again? Because that was the important part to you.
LA, Seattle, St. Louis, Dallas, Houston, Tampa Bay, DC, New York.
Tampa Bay. That doesn't entirely fit.
I would have said Orlando. I would have picked Orlando.
Florida just sucks for sports. People don't go to games when it's baseball. People don't support football well. And Florida is such a good high school football state, though, and the colleges don't hurt too much. But professionally, I mean, like the Jaguars draw, they're one of the worst in the NFL. It's a terrible place for a team, Jacksonville. I don't know. So was there anything else about the XFL you wanted to know?
That was it.
That was it. You just want to know the cities.
Yes.
So, I mean, it is interesting to note two big quarterbacks that I saw. Matt McGloin, former Penn State product, really could be playing on Sundays. He was a pretty good quarterback. More of a running QB. So it's an in-betweener there. Depends on what your thoughts on that are. But there's a slight resurgence in that part of the game. And McCloyne could have been one of those guys. But he doesn't quite have what it takes, I suppose. And, of course, Cardale Jones, former Ohio State Buckeye, couldn't really catch on with an NFL team. Was a slightly higher-ish round pick with the Bills. Was he first round? I thought he was third round. I don't remember. My memory sucks sometimes on things that really don't matter all that much. But Cardale Jones, former Ohio State Buckeye, is quarterback for the DC. The hell was their name again? Destroyers? Declares? They were one that was a person.
Talk. No, that's banned.
The DC Talk. Oh, yeah, Christian rap group.
Yep.
You Jesus freak.
Hey.
So it's not a bad thing.
True.
Anyhow. It was not a good song, though. It was an okay song. They had better songs.
They covered Jesus.
Yeah, it was his knee, right? All right. So the Patrick Mahomes injury. You see, all right, epic. We talked about that in the first segment. Do you have new information regarding it? Because I don't know how long he's out for. And since we're here doing this show, and I don't have notifications in respect to those things. Although speaking of notifications, make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications from us every time we're going to be on. Bing. Sorry, I did the sound effect too after you did it. Not that it really matters, and I have no idea where still up in the air. See, they'll do a bunch of speculation stuff. You'll get some real results or something. Since they happen on a Thursday, maybe Sunday. Get the X-rays, get a second opinion.
That'd be an interesting name for a team, the X-Rays.
Well, that's just guys who leave the Tampa Bay baseball franchise and play somewhere else. They're X-Rays.
Oh. Womp, womp.
I guess the last XFL thing that I'll make the comment on, even though it won't matter because neither of these guys would do it. There were kind of two XFL things, and we'll talk more XFL as it gets closer to that season, and probably wasn't it a dislocated kneecap? See, I thought it was ankle at first, and this two different knee ones. Then is Epic says knee injury, and Ronnie, I'm figuring, says dislocated kneecap. That's rough. Ooh, rough. Okay. That could put you out for the rest of the season. A dislocation, right? I think that's right. No, I'm no doctor. I'll claim to be one. It gets me laid. A play doctor. Woohoo. No, I guess.
Burning.
Huh?
Oh, that was a song.
Oh, doctor, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, so two big names that you didn't see, and of course one of them is Manziel, because who knows what he's doing? He's drunk in some Mexican cantina somewhere, and
He got Montezuma's revenge. Wow.
the other fella being Colin Kaepernick. And if I think there's a max on what they're paying the quarterbacks, like $500,000, he's not going to go play football for what is that? That's like 3% of 3% of what he can make not playing football yearly. Why go play football for $500,000 when you can make $15 million in a settlement with the NFL?
Or $100 million.
What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I don't know if that's how much you made last year. I figured it was you. Who else would it have been? Oh, the only other tone there, Ronnie, was that it would have been like Chris using her account. because you guys can have a similar writing tone. If you know, read either texts or writings of yours where it's like, oh, hey, girls, you know.
Cousin Ronnie.
Almost thought Eric maybe. He's yeah. You three guys, there's a similar tone. Let's see. He has his MRI today, but so far it's looking like 3 weeks. He'd only be out 3 weeks with a dislocated kneecap. All right. So anyhow, no, it's why go and put your body at risk to go do something for what is it, like 2% of the amount of money that you can get paid to just make commercials and show up in courtrooms for the thing. You would have to have an NFL owner offer a contract of anywhere between $10 and $15 million per year. Say, come on, play, man, because he doesn't love the game. No, you said love of the game, yeah. I mean, that's why, you know, those were the dreams we had as children and even men in our 20s. We both even practiced, tried out for a semi-pro team. You at least could play some wide receiver, Ronnie. Me, I was a fat, slow linebacker who couldn't tackle.
No one ever says I want to be junky when I grow up,
Right?
except for me. But I want to be junky when I grow up.
I mean, we love the games. That guy doesn't love the game, so that's why he doesn't play. I think it's that simple. But at the same time, no owner has offered him that kind of contract. I would you got to do that to prove the point. Hey, Colin Kaepernick, come on, $10 million a year. It's a lot of money, especially for a guy who's 31 or 32. So far as NFL quarterbacks go, he somewhat injury prone toward the end of his actual playing career. Opted out of his contract with the 49ers so he could test free agency. That's a fact. And the Niners wanted to see, you know, you could go get more money anyway, and they were really sold on, was it Blaine Gabbert, or was it because they didn't want to pay him or Kaepernick that much money? I mean, it all comes down to money at the end. I hate being that guy, but facts are facts. I mean, it came down to money for all of these guys. And that's the sad thing about it. It's a big business. It's the biggest business in the world. Well, one of the biggest businesses in the world, NFL football. I guess that's just about all my takes on it. Outside of the fact that the last thought I'll leave you with, I'm going to ask Paul this, and you guys can answer in the live chat too, is my Uncle Joe and I were talking about this. If XFL had done it right the first time, where they were kind of playing it up like it would be more like wrestling, and that was a prime time for them to do that. You get the Rock involved, Stone Cold. Goldberg was around then, I'm pretty sure. Former football players. Was Lesnar around in 01?
I don't know.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was around just yet. He actually, I'm pretty sure he was on an NFL roster with the Vikings. But you had guys who really could have marketed football and wrestling. Like how Paul talks about the NFL, how it's like National Football Entertainment. It should be NFE. And that it's, you could have the game, and then a player from one team come up to a player of the other team afterwards and say, I don't like that hit you laid out on me during the game, so I'm going to lay a hit out on you now. And then two other dudes from that team to hit him with a chair and a fire extinguisher. It just becomes an all-out brawl. After the game, it spills out into the stands. And if it's all portrayed well enough, and of course, you know, it'd be acting, you wouldn't want that to bleed into the game itself, because the games... There's already the speculation that some of that's happening. We know of the proof of it historically in baseball. College and professional basketball have been dinged with it. Sure, it's happened in the NFL. You don't want to just like start off with your, well, it's the Wrestling Football League. They're going to cheat. It's all scripted. You want the realness in the games. But if you have some scripted outside stuff, it'd be fun, I think. So anyway, I'm going to throw it on over to the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center. Us here keeping you updated with traffic and weather. So here's Paul Warren with the traffic and weather.
Henninger Road, on Henninger Road, leaf cleaning crew on it today. 2 guys pick up 1 leaf at a time. Shut down the street. Looks beautiful. I'm kidding. 1 guy had a leaf blower. The other had an enormous net. And the weather outside is 49 and cloudy right now. Expect a high of 56 degrees later. In the day, it's not supposed to rain today, but it sure is overcast and is going to be cloudy tonight. But it's not like you'll see the clouds at night. It will be dark. Now back to Mark at the Old Brooklyn News Desk.
All right, good job, Paul. Thank you very much. I also, I realized I screwed up in my writing of that, is I wrote it with my cadences in mind. I read it with a different tone than you do. I have to write for you, so I have to remember that. But in the news, the actress sings the N-word on an Instagram post. I am not entirely sure of who the actress is, but I do know she is of Hispanic descent, and it's kind of okay. She's just singing along to a Fuji song from like 20 years ago. And if she uses the N-word, I mean, that's not a big deal, right? She's Hispanic, she's from like Puerto Rican or something. So that's different. It's not like a white person was doing it. The smoking age in the state of Ohio. Smoking age in the state of Ohio has increased to 21 now. It used to be 18. It is now 21. So any 18-year-olds or younger who were smoking beforehand now just have to get an older friend or relative or somebody like that to buy them nicotine products. And that's too bad for them. Timing. And lastly, Oriental Massage Parlor in Avon Lake with an all-male staff. Accidentally, there's an older couple of gentlemen in there, an older African-American fellow and an older white guy. They accidentally they ordered the Shanghai Surprises. The older African-American fellow came running out screaming and nude. But the older white guy, believed to be Jerry Sandusky, enjoyed it greatly. Let's get this music playing, because in a moment here after this commercial from me, this music indicates that it is time for Paul's random thought of the day. But first, I want to tell everyone to go over to patreon.com. That's right, patreon.com. Click on find yourself the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. So you can help us create more quality programming. You already get the Warren Brothers Sports Show. Here it is, Wednesdays through Fridays from noon until 2 p.m. roughly. We haven't gone over 2 p.m. yet, but we figure that's the best we can do so far. We're hoping to bring you more quality programming, a talk show, Apathetic Afternoons, one in which a weekly podcast to star my good friend Anton and myself, The Calm and the Storm, and of course our Sunday Super Show, Sausage Fest Spectacular Show, where we bring everything together and we talk Browns football, watch it live, probably just mostly give you a halftime report, maybe a pregame if it's not a Sunday. I'm doing my other gig, and of course a post game. The big thing will be the post game show. Immediate reaction to yet another Browns Sunday loss, most likely. Also, actual somewhat TV show type things. Man versus Booze. I'm excited for that one. Have the pilot ready, at least written. Just need to film it and then edit it. Craptastic Shorts, a little show that Paul and I do, where we make fun of old short movies and cartoons. $5 per month. Patreon.com, Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. Follow my daily Patreon-only blog. You can contribute yourself. Tell me what you want to see, and we will do it and make it for you because you're a producer. If you're paying $5 a month, what's that other gig on Sundays? That's the Epic Radio Show, which is on from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. There you go. You're welcome. You put a commercial inside the commercial there, Epic. Let's see here. Tell me what you want. Keep Paul off the streets, because this guy, I mean, if you start paying for the content through the patreon.com, $5 a month, then I can pay Paul. Not PayPal, pay Paul. And then that way he quits bugging me and he actually shows up to work. as opposed to him just doing it for free like he is today.
This is beer beef.
What?
This is a beer beef. I know you just beer beef, and there's other places that you try.
Wow. I mean, I know what that impersonation is, and it's a good impersonation, but that was all mumbled gibberish.
I like Lady Gaga.
Uh-huh.
I want to be Lady Gaga.
You want to be Lady Gaga?
Yes. Poker face, British me, Alejandro.
You know, like all the time you complain about me interrupting during your commercials or other things, and you're doing it again to me. All right. Don't poke me in the eye again. Let's see. So help my brother out. Help a brother out. Help brothers out. $5. I see what you're doing. I can see it. $5 a month per subscription. You spend more daily on stupid crap. You know you do. So spend just that much per month on other stupid crap. Patreon.com, Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. Now over to Paul with his random thought of the day.
Okay, my random thought for right now is hockey, because I hear the Blue Jackets are going to play against the Blackhawks.
When you say you hear that, it's because I said it like an hour ago,
yes.
right? Is that where you get your news?
Yes, I get the news from you.
And you're, yeah, you can help film Man versus Booze there, Epic. I mean, there you go.
Yeah. So,
I got to figure out when we're going to film. Tuesdays seem like it might be the opportune day. So, I mean, I got to prep myself for day drinking on a Tuesday. I haven't done that in years. Used to day drink during Browns games. You had to then, and not just tailgating. When I hear about like some of the things that people do now, was that was before the Monday Nighter with the Rams. Oh, that was weird. That was just so weird. Now, part of the gig with the film and stuff and other stuff like that is Paul's playing the cameraman, so that's going to tie into it. But it's like one of the like 6 jokes that I actually have written. It's a weird way I'm doing it. But it makes sense because I like half of it's ad libbed. That's why when I say like I wrote the script, it's like I don't even know about nights. It might be like 11 to 6, like 11 in the morning. Depends. I have to clear it with bars. I might only even get 3 to 5 bars, but that's the prime things are there's like 3 different things to film that are other scenes. The guy gets the job, film some type of stand-up thing, and then there was one other thing. An ending scene is I need a female lead. That's the biggest thing. All we ever do and get here is men. That's henceforth why Sunday Sausage Fest makes so much sense. I just cook a bunch of sausages. We talk about sports, and just anybody wants to come by, or even better, if I can do a live remote, that would be amazing. Get a bar to sponsor it every Sunday. I just throw a bunch of sausages in a crock pot. But that's the plan for that one. But when it comes to the Man versus Booze thing, like, hey, what bars would you're gonna?
I like to poke fun at the Steve Reichel guy's like, okay, we're gonna cook our kielbasa on our grill. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Ouch!
Yeah, that's fine too.
And we're gonna put the sauerkraut in. We're gonna grill some sauerkraut as well.
Yeah, it just falls through the grates.
And maybe with, well, I was gonna put it in like,
yeah, I might call you late tonight though. It'd be later.
Or
Epic.
Or maybe I'll be one of the Rick.
I gotta make sure I call the right phone number though.
We got some chorizo, nice chorizo here.
I get it. Yes, we'll do funny stuff, but that would be for Sundays.
Sunday.
And that's kind of more like this. It's not an actual filmed and edited show like the other, like Man versus Booze will be.
Okay,
it's gonna be more straightforward like this.
But...
So what else about hockey? But it's called Man versus Booze.
Yes.
Oh, Paul's talking about something else too. He's talking about the Sunday thing.
Yes.
That's just another radio program that we hope to eventually get to, but it's probably won't even do it this Browns season. And by the time I kick it off, it'll be almost baseball season, and you can still do that then, which would be good.
Just sounds just as great
because you can still do it, and it makes sense because you eat sausages all the time. This guy over here, he's just jamming multiple sausages in his mouth, like he just can't.
Shut up.
Okay, then. So, but what about hockey?
The Blackhawks versus Blue Jackets, because you said that there was key player that's going to be real good real soon?
Oh yeah, here I'll bring up that thing about the goalie, and I'll answer Epic's question. Here is because, well, Ronnie, you can hop on anytime. In fact, actually, I like the live chat, but there is a way to call in. We've got a phone number here, 216-487-1507, and you know where I live, right? It's the same place. You can come on as a special guest. You're a special guy. You can fill in for Paul. He's going to be off next Friday. Just come by the house. Bunch of you just come on by. That's what we can do. This a prelude to the sausage special. Columbus Blue Jackets versus Chicago Blackhawks. You want to know about this particular player? Oh, and to answer Epic's question, female lead, because playing the producer of the show is a female. Basically, the three cast members are myself. You'd have Paul as the cameraman. I'm the man versus the booze. There's four parts technically. There's the guy who is the executive at the station, behind the show. That's I need a guy for. But with all the guys I know, I'm not going to say anybody can play that part. Maybe we even slide Paul into that part and he plays that jerk and someone else can play the cameraman. But I just like the idea of Paul playing the cameraman, because even though he's my brother in real life, we'd be complete strangers in it. And then I need a female lead to play the producer, because to be completely honest, it's an old trope in so many movies and probably TV shows. And we're all in our generation most familiar with it from Groundhog's Day. And it's literally, you got the cameraman, you got Bill Murray, and you got it's not Minnie Driver. Who's the other actress?
The McDowell or something?
Yes, Andie MacDowell. Andy?
I don't know.
Yeah, great actress. I like her.
And Chris Elliott's the cameraman.
I know who it is, yes. And so it's that, not that it's directly stealing, but it's kind of the idea. And because the man in Man versus Booze has to have a pseudo love interest, even though she shoots him down. She's not interested at all. That's the entire thing. Nothing ever comes to fruition. I think that's the entire plan for it. I could do, ultimately, if it's 6 episodes or 60 episodes, she just has no, maybe she feels a little pity for the guy, but ultimately the lead isn't a guy that you are going to like. Because it's how often would you watch that show if it's Man versus Food or Insomniac or whatever it is? And it's like, I hate this guy. I don't want to watch some fat slob eat 5 pounds worth of food. I don't want to see some drunk, alcoholic, pseudo stand-up comic, even though I'm a Dave Attell fan. He's funny. But you just watch him get drunk. And so that's the concept behind it. It combines those two things and other things. As I steal a lot, sure. But, it's just that goes up against booze instead of food. Or sleep, or even My Girl Friday, if you want to go back to like the 40s and stuff. Basically, Cary Grant and almost everything he ever did, there was some female foil. Just because he was Cary Grant, he got the girl. That's the difference.
Well, it kind of sucked to have Man versus Booze like in Baghdad or Syria.
It's all just going to be Cleveland neighborhoods.
Or like what happened was like in Cairo.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. Wait, which part? The drunk?
Because Cairo.
Yeah, Cairo.
Because most of those countries don't have liquor.
Yeah, it's illegal to drink in the
Middle East.
Oh, that's why it's set in Cleveland.
Yeah,
and because I live in Cleveland, it's not like I'm gonna try to film Cleveland. What?
And you can't.
Maybe we do one episode where they fly us abroad, even though we'll stay here. We'll pretend it's Bangkok. Okay. We can go to the east side. Isn't there like 4 Chinese restaurants? Probably a bar over there.
I don't know.
You're filming at the right places. Let's see here. All right. So you want to know, all right, 16th overall pick in the 2014 draft, 23-year-old Sonny Milano. Let's see. He said a spectacular individual effort from him to help the Columbus Blue Jackets improve to 3-3.
Yes, Mark burps a lot. That might tell him to get some gas less pills. Epic radio show.
Why did I just burp again now? I
Epic
do
radio
says I see it. Yeah, burp much. Yeah. So, yeah, I burp a lot. Whatever. That just made me
Excuse
burp
me.
again. I mean, why would you do that? It's the coughing on your show. It's not like I do these bits on purpose. I have coughing problems on your show, and I burp on this show. I used to fart on the other show. Maybe I do it on purpose. I don't know.
You need gasless
Through the
pills.
third period to provide a 2-goal advantage. Maybe, wait. Oh, no. He's not a goalie. But 14 of his 16 career goals came in the 2017-18 season. He made 55 of his 79 appearances. So 23-year-old kid, Milano, playing well for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Was that the kid you want to know about?
Yes, and I just thought about this too, about the hockey, and how like we always talk about baseball.
Oh, and then the goalie was Junis Korpisalo, who's taken over after the departure of Sergei Bobrovsky in the offseason. That was one of the key losses. Let's see. Been fun, guys. Yeah, go back to work. Epic. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I'll call you later. No, there's going to be a weird time. And make sure you call back the right Mark if you missed my phone call to you in the next 7 or 8 hours. Don't call the wrong Mark Warren. Or however you have me saved in your phone. I have no idea. I have you saved as Epic in my phone. I had you saved as Eric in one phone I owned at one time, I'm pretty sure. Good job by the young new goalie as well, Junis Korpisalo. And also want to remind everybody that this is WBBN, Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. The views and opinions of this program don't express those of ownership. Ownership is vehemently against cronyism and nepotism. I, however, am the owner. All of my friends are in the live chat, and my family is here on the show. So, cronyism and nepotism bad, even though that's all I do. What were you saying about hockey?
Well, I just think one of the reasons why I'm still interested in the game, I don't know about it much right now, but how we always mention that baseball, it's like a long road, and
yeah, because hockey is too.
And
I mean, you were writing off the Blue Jackets this time last week, calling them the Boo Jackets, and they suck, and they were 1-2.
Well, I think
it's just a matter of days later, and they're 3-3.
Yeah. I think they're just going to be okay, and if they do make it in the playoffs, they're probably going to be 8th seed because of all those losses with those key players.
Yeah, we know primarily the goalie. He left in free agency, I figure. I don't know where he went because I don't follow the sport.
But also but because of the Cleveland Monsters, if the Monsters are good, then Blue Jackets might be better in the next few years.
It's the pipeline, and it's how you're understanding baseball, and it's what I appreciate about you doing that.
That's how, because it's AAA.
Right. And it's a very similar way in which it works in basketball now, too, but I still haven't figured all that out. The D-League can just S my D-League, quite frankly.
But I don't know much about basketball, that kind of stuff. But
in that respect, not quite me either.
But baseball and hockey have that similarity. And that's...
Baseball and hockey do?
Because
building teams up,
Building teams with affiliates.
Through farm systems and minor leagues. And hockey is the one that closely resembles baseball the most. Baseball does it the best, quite frankly. I mean, I think that goes without saying. Independent leagues, you can grow throughout
because
the years.
Because the American Hockey League's like AAA. East Coast is like AA. There should be like a single A league with around 31 teams.
Yeah.
But they've tried that many times. But to be honest, if they could revamp the International Hockey League, because they tried that again, but it didn't work out. But
the IHL, because that's what the Lumberjacks were in, right?
Yes.
Whereas the AHL is what the Monsters are in. And what was the other one?
East Coast Hockey League.
The ECL?
ECHL.
And I'm less familiar with that one.
Yeah, because there wasn't any Cleveland teams in that. That's why.
That's why. It makes perfect sense then.
Yes.
What about the Barons?
They were part of the American League.
They were in AHL? AHL. Okay.
Yes.
And that was numerous different times.
The first one was the biggest one because
it was the 30s, right?
30s, 40s, 50s. They were like the 7th team.
And on top of it, the AHL
Mhm.
wasn't necessarily on the level of the NHL, but it was followed
Yes.
relatively well, right?
Yes.
Almost in comparison to what the AFL was the NFL in the 60s,
Yes.
because several AHL teams became NHL teams.
Only Buffalo,
Oh, just a couple.
Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia.
That's still 3. That's pretty impressive. I mean, they even brought back the Barons name in the 70s for a year or two with an NHL franchise.
Yeah, but
that was at the old Cleveland Arena downtown, right?
That was Richfield Coliseum.
Oh, they played at Richfield both
Yeah.
years?
The Barons, yeah.
Okay.
But they were in jeopardy, so two teams were in jeopardy that time. The Barons and North Stars.
Yeah.
Hockey really did not become big until Wayne Gretzky.
Well, that's a good point.
It really didn't launch in America well. It was great. It was big in Canada. It was big in Russia. It was big in.
You brought this up earlier.
And also 1980 U.S. versus Soviet Russia miracle game.
Yeah,
That's
that helped turn the tides. Bunch of young college kids on top of it.
Yes, and then but by the 90s, hockey started to become real popular, just like how basketball was before that.
Hey, you want to give us a traffic and weather update from the Warren Brothers Traffic and Weather Center? Here's Paul Warren.
Henninger Road has a leaf cleaning crew on it today. 2 guys picking up one leaf at a time. Shut down the street. Looks beautiful. I'm kidding. One guy had a leaf blower. The other had an enormous net. Weather, 49 and cloudy right now. Expect a high of 56 degrees. Later in the day, it's not supposed to rain today, but it sure is overcast and is going to be cloudy tonight. But it's not like you'll see the clouds at night. It will be dark. And now back to you at the Old Brooklyn News Desk.
All right, and here with the news is myself, Mark Warren. Actress sings the N-word, big deal on the Instagram. She's singing along to a Fuji song from the 90s. The N-word happens to be in the lyrics, and she sings along. But since she's Hispanic, that should be fine. I don't know. There was a big kerfuffle at first, a lot of outrage and hatred, probably from a bunch of white phony liberals. Mostly a big contingent of these younger guys who are white liberals, or just guys trying to get laid. But that's just one man's opinion as a guy who did it once in his life too. Smoking age, now 21. You cannot purchase tobacco or tobacco accessories or anything like that if you are under 21 years of age. So, if you are 18 and have already started legally smoking and no longer can, it's not like they're grandfathering you in because they don't care. Go ahead and just get an older friend to buy it for you. Or, that tall 15-year-old kid, because every neighborhood has one, and those corner stores aren't IDing everybody. Lastly, Oriental Massage Parlor in Avon Lake with an all-male staff. There was an elderly African-American man yelling and screaming nude from this Oriental Massage Parlor in Avon Lake, saying, hey, they tried to stick their pudding pop in my pudding cup, and he was running out. Apparently his accomplice, believed to be Jerry Sandusky, was perfectly fine with getting the Shanghai surprise at this Oriental Massage Parlor with an all-male staff in Avon Lake. Now back over to Paul with 2 commercials, I think. You only did one on the other 2, right? Oh, no, you were only doing one this time. Never mind.
I'm Paul Warren for the Orson Ado. Sweetest Day is this weekend, so why don't you give your sweetie some flowers, candy, a card, wine, or even lingerie? Because you can get all that at the Orson Ado, and your loved one will love you for the gifts you give her. The Orson Ado. We sell everything but love.
I personally am one of the belief that women should be the ones who buy the lingerie. Even though, obviously, unless you have... Good one, Ronnie. I've been married for 18 years, and I'm still trying to get laid. We only have the proof that it happened the one time, because
And Ron, you're not the only one.
14 or 15, right? So we know you at least succeeded once in having sex. So good job, Ronnie. Let's see here. What was I thinking? This is our last segment. What do we call it again?
What did you get out at the end?
What did you get out of the end? At the end. We still haven't perfected on which way we're going to say it because they both sound good. Because what did you get out at the end? Out at the end.
I say potato.
Out of the end. Out of the end is coming this turd coming out of the end. So what did you get out of the end? Viewers, I'm going to ask you, Paul, what did you get out of the end?
Not much.
Out at the end. Yeah, it's out at the end because we're at the end of the show.
Well, it's just that I don't know what's going to happen in the baseball game. I don't care because Tribe's not playing this year.
Yeah.
So, but still a little glimmer of hope with the Blue Jackets. I don't know.
Glimmer of hope. They've only played 6 games.
Okay,
There's
fine.
far more than a glimmer of hope. They have the whole full season to go.
Okay, fine.
They haven't even played a 10th of their games yet.
Okay.
Far more than a glimmer of hope. We're going to talk hockey for a hot second. Yeah. Columbus Blue Jackets, sure, maybe they fall to a 6 to 8 seed. They were a 3 seed last year, you remember?
I think so.
Okay. And they made quite an impressive run, and they got to the second or third round of the playoffs? Second round. Because they didn't make the championship series.
No.
And they didn't make the Stanley Cup.
No.
But they actually won a playoff series last year, if I remember correctly. Got to go, guys. I'll call you later. Definitely do so, Rodney. You either call that show number I gave you, that's 216-487-1507, or you got my personal number, if I remember correctly, right? Did you? I think I finally got yours, and I did find it too. So I saved it in the phone. I just did that the other day because I'm dumb and I write numbers down and I forget to put them on my phone. All right, good. Yes, sweet. So I'll talk to you soon, Ronnie. And if I don't answer, I'll call you back. That is something that I still do badly. And no one ever texts. People hate texting. And that's kind of really the only thing that I find easy in which to communicate with people with. Because I'm always like with other people and they'll answer their phones. They'll do it. I've always been weird about that. And it's like, oh, hey, no, I'm listening to this person talk. And it's like, oh, hey, phone call. You know, I don't understand why I am that way. It's just how I am. So you can text too if call doesn't work. So anyway, thank you very much for listening as well, Ronnie, Epic, whomever the other viewers, listeners have been, and will be. For those of you who catch the reruns later. And also, don't forget, that's and it's funny, as Garsky's calling me from work now. The show's not even over yet, and he's calling the cell phone number. So I'm not picking it up now because obviously as I'm doing the show. See, I'm doing a thing, and so I'm not going to answer.
Go home.
and thankfully, because of the glare, hopefully it just showed you the fact that a phone's ringing. That like the actual digits for the number are coming up. Someone zooms in, finds the number, he's just getting all these calls. Why are you doing that? So still a very long hockey season coming forth. That's one thing that I'm getting out of this end. And then with the baseball thing is that, the World Series could be set tonight. The Astros play the Yankees later, and the Astros could clinch in New York. That's the really weird, interesting part to me, is that the Yankee season could end tonight. And I'm not sad about that at all. I'm not thrilled the Astros would be going to the World Series. I don't have a horse in this race, just as Paul was saying. Since the Indians are out of it, he doesn't follow. And then on top of it, too, I didn't really care all that much when the Indians. What's the show number? 216-487-1507. The show's number is 216-487-1507.
And then the other
that's why he was trying to call the show and he accidentally called me. Hey, at least you didn't call some other guy named Mark. Well, Paul, go ahead real quick.
Because with the World Series, I to be honest, I think the AL may win this year because even though the Nationals are good, they're probably going to be like the Tribe. In 3 years ago, they waited for a week, see who's going to win, and then
Right.
And then they collapse.
The problem may be with the Nationals is that the having to wait. They swept the Cardinals. Oh man, it's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing
I just thought that
because you're not playing every day.
Yeah, I just thought that waiting would have been better, but it's because
It isn't always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what caused us to lose.
It was a contributing factor. I don't blame it entirely. Oh, I talk too fast. Say numbers. Type it in the chat. Tell me what to do. I should throw in extra numbers.
Use
Be a
555. See what happens.
Yeah, tell them the area code's 555. So that's a 555 area code. Epic.
And it'll be 216-555-0123.
Yeah, I know, but who's got a 555 area code? Where is that?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. See, I thought that was something you knew. You
No.
tend to know random things like that.
Well, 555 is usually reserved for films.
I know that. Unless you want to call Jenny. And that's 867-530-99. 86. Oh, hey, the phone's ringing. Check that out. I'm going to cue this up some, see if that'll make that work. Oh, yeah, I thought that was something you knew. Hello, caller. You are on the air.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, caller.
Yeah, let me talk to Mark.
This is Mark. Hello.
It's not Mark, man. Shoot.
Well, who is this?
This is Epic, man.
Well, yes. Hello, Epic. This is Mark.
Hey, what's going on, Mark?
Well, I don't know. You called me.
Well, I forget there's a delay, man. It messes it up. Well, let me turn this stupid phone down. I'm trying to work and stuff too, and listen to your show, and call in the middle of it to throw you off.
So, but that kind of just screws you up more because you're listening while talking and working,
I am screwing it up, yes.
but only yourself, not me.
And I'm watching this guy. He's running a lawnmower. This is your other traffic report out in the field. You know what I'm saying? And there's like some weird weather going on. It's like a lot of gas.
Gas like burps?
Thrown around here. I don't know what the sound is. I might have to go. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh no, that's
So somebody just jumped out of a van, and they're asking me to get into the van, and I don't know what's going on.
you don't get into the van, Epic. You never get into the van, regardless, even if they have delicious candy.
Does he live down by the river?
We have candy, and I'm kind of hungry. I've been working all day.
Well, if he has candy and dirty magazines, it's fine.
Good show. I will see you Sunday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're not abducted in this van, where will I see you on Sunday?
I will escape somehow. I will send you a carrier pigeon with my address.
Okay, and then
Rescue me.
then on Sunday, where I will see Epic is at the Epic Radio Show from 10:30 until 12:30 on Sunday morning, which you can find on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and all of those.
Oh, you know what? Forget it. Justin Bieber's in that van.
Yeah, you don't want to go in there.
I don't want to go with
No,
them.
at least it's not Tom Brady.
No. Hey, no, I just really wanted to say, good show, man. You guys have been killing it. Your brother's awesome.
He is. He makes
Thank
the
you.
show, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, big
He
facts.
puts you to shame in every way imaginable.
Truth is truth.
It is the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, truth is truth. I can't deny it. He makes the show. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the Warren Brothers Sports Show.
It
It
could
w-
be just the Warren Brother sports show.
It would be the Warren guy crazy ramblings about nothing.
You know what? I mean, Seinfeld made a show about nothing. Look how he did.
Yeah, but that had other people at least. If that was just him by himself doing a stand-up, no one would watch that. Huh? You literally do sound like you're in a toilet.
Trying to do this.
What?
Just trying to work and do this at the same time.
Are you like washing a poodle in a sink?
They're really trying to get me to try their candy. I don't know what's going on there.
So you're out in this terrible weather, inclement weather. There's lawnmowers going, and these Justin Bieber lookalikes are accosting you.
It's really crazy.
I mean, if there's candy and dirty magazines.
I'm hoping not to get raped in the woods over here. I will talk to you later about man versus food.
All right, yeah. We'll confab. You know how my life goes. You'll hear from me in the next 7 hours or so.
Absolutely.
What time are you working until?
I'm hearing a lot of echo, man.
Yeah, that's probably true. The mics are a little too close to each other, in my opinion. Also, I put you on speaker because I've learned I can hear you better on speaker, but I don't think that's the right way to do it. So I don't know. I'm still working kinks out.
Maybe I'll teach you how to Google Voice or something.
Maybe it's the echo inside that van that you've climbed into. Why would they wait to take you to the woods to rape you? They could just rape you in the woods.
Pretty close for you guys to be wrapping up. But for those of you listening, I'm going to do one last plug. If they didn't do enough plugs on the show already, so check out the Epic Radio Show Sunday mornings at 10:30. Peace out.
How funny would it have been if I had hung up on him like before he did the plug? Like, hey, one last plug for you guys. Click dial tone. It doesn't make a dial tone sound. Not yet. No, I wouldn't do that. He's a friend. I do a show with him, so that helps me out for him to do that. And then hopefully some of you people who have listened or will listen or are interested in listening or something have done so because you listen to that show, which I need to do better plugs for on that show. Just bring up this show like 3 or 4 times in various live chat or just while I'm on it and talking. I do a sports segment on that show. The Epic Radio Show, Sunday mornings, 10:30 a.m. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Just click. Hey, one last plug. Click. Hey, I want to promote. Click. Speaking of somebody who I want to plug and see, that's funny. You rolled right with that. Good job. Arthur Kinney, if you're out there at all, if you've caught any of these programs, anything, I've texted you even. Give me a call. Indians Baseball Insider. I know it's not the most exciting time of the year for Indians baseball, but I do like staying somewhat abreast of who the minor leaguers are. I want to know if Nora Jones. No, it's a guy named Nolan Jones. He plays third base with us. I don't know if he's playing fall ball somewhere or winter ball or, all this stuff. It's all these options for these guys. It's part of your contract. They'll make it sound like we're friends. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. It's a pure working relationship. That's all it is. But I want to know if Nolan Jones is playing ball in the winter. Now that these guys can do that, baseball's a year-round activity if you go to the right places. Guys just play all year round anymore. I want to know, are there any Indians players doing it up in the Dominican leagues or whatever other leagues there are that they play in the winter? And Arthur Kidd is the guy. He's the guy. So, and his Twitter, I actually know. I memorized that one from him being a guest on the other show. And because he constantly talks to me on Twitter. We talk to each other on the Twitter. And, he's a guy I could plug, and he's a guy I could have on who call in, be a guest. So, Arthur, if you're out there, hit me up. So, but yeah, Epic, good to know. Friendship has meant nothing to you. Honestly, didn't mean all that much to me either. I've been like 10 years without talking. I thought his name was Eric. He kept going by Epic. I was like, oh, his real name's Eric. His real name is Eric. Or Epic. He's really epic. Anyway,
somebody's name was Eric Phil.
His name was Eric Phil? What does that have to do with anything?
Because it almost sounds like epic fail.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, when I explained it.
Well, because Eric Phil doesn't sound like epic fail. Unless, like, his last name was Fail, then that would actually be funny. Hey, I'm Eric Fail. Did you say epic fail? No, Eric. Oh. Got any last little bits for us, Paul? We got about 5 minutes left.
Not really.
We never talked about potential Kevin Love trade stuff.
We can talk about that next week.
Okay, so we'll bring that to you next week, especially since I didn't really do any actual research on it, at least not as of yet, because I don't see any of it happening. I mean, people keep bringing up the Portland Trail Blazers. I only ever see a potential dance partner being LA, and at this point, it would probably have to be the Clippers. Because, as much as LeBron pulls all these strings and all this other stuff and gets players to come play with him sometimes, sort of, or he goes other places to play with other guys. Yeah, pretty much.
And then Love could be with his Uncle Mike.
That's why it would be LA. It's where he's from. He played at UCLA.
Yeah.
He grew up in LA. Maybe he lived in Portland or Seattle. I don't remember. But he's from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it's why you always tie Kevin Love back to the West Coast. He spent a few years with Minnesota. That doesn't really matter. It's not like how important Kevin Garnett was to Minnesota. But in these last couple minutes to tell you what I got out of my end. What I got out of my end was that the live chat is key to the show. As is Paul being my co-host. And not necessarily I'm going to say that I'm an excellent host, but I do a better job because of you and because of him, especially because of you, Paul. And also largely in big thanks to people like Ronnie and Epic and Dave, former associate producer Dave, who is now just a guy who paints. And Dave, if you're still out there, get to me too, because we got to write that commercial. So I actually have that for next week. We take care of that this weekend, even if you and I just jot some stuff down from what you send me in a text message. Because you're not to say that like it's easy to write, but we could probably take care of what we need to do for you and yours. That simply. I don't know. It's tough to look forward to NFL football for me. Who's crying on the inside? Why are you crying, Epic? I hope you didn't go into that van, even if there was porn and candy. If
there was booze, I'd be in it.
You know what? Porn, candy, and liquor, and you'd probably have me kidnapped too. In your windowless van, whomever you are.
I smell sex and candy.
So that's why it's the dirty magazines. There's your sex, and then the candy is the other thing. With candy,
I had sex with candy there.
Wow, that's just her stripper name, Candy. Oh, actually, in this day and age, there's probably women who are named Candy at this point with an I and not a Y at the end. Yeah, no, it's difficult for me to get psyched for NFL football when the Browns aren't playing that week. Although, I will keep an eye out on the Ravens game and the Bengals game. Just because those are our foes. Steelers also have their bye week this week. And I guess the big thing to look forward to tonight is to watch some Ohio State football. What do you think? Does that make sense?
Yes.
What are you going to watch tonight?
I don't know. Probably some Mystery Science Theater.
Wow, that is loud. There you go. I forgot I turned that up to hear the phone. Why Laser Blast?
Boiling fudge and some dingle balls hanging from trees. Because that was the last episode on Comedy Central.
It was a good episode too. It was great that Richard Malton gave
Leonard
it
Maltin.
Leonard Maltin gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
I watched the one they made. They watched Gorgo recently. I gave this one 2.5 stars. Leonard Maltin
2.5 star of approval.
It's the worst grade you can get if Leonard Maltin, and he does it on a scale of 1 to 4, and if you get a 2.5,
a bomb to 4.
Okay, he does it from bomb to 4, but if you get a 2.5, it's either like he gave Casablanca a 2.5, didn't he?
He gave Forrest Gump a 2.5.
Forrest Gump. Technically,
Forrest
when we see Forrest Gump now and compare it to then, when you think about it, you only really liked Forrest Gump because of the cool graphics used, and you can compare it to the book some, and the fact that somehow this guy did all these things.
It's my favorite film of all time.
I know it's your favorite film of all time. When you go back and watch it, when I go back and watch it, I realize that it's not necessarily a great film.
Girlfriend Jenny was a slut.
Uh-huh. Paul, this is the wrapping it up. This is like the end. It's why the music is playing. So, I want to thank Epic, Ronnie, Dave Hughes, all in the chat, everyone else who is watching and listening or will be watching or are listening now that it's not live anymore, but it was live now at this moment in time. But if you're watching the rerun anytime, I appreciate that. Like, click, subscribe, sign up for notifications, all of that stuff. For my co-host, my brother, Paul, Mr. Cleveland Warren, I have been Mark Warren, this time letting you know that until next time, this time has been the most recent. Any last words, Paul?
Say goodnight, Sparky.
Good night, Sparky.
We're running a little late, folks, so good night.
See, the thing is we can still just see you right there.